Nova Scotia Organic to the Land is back with another episode on this not that early though, fabulous Sunday. I call it a fabulous Sunday because we are in spring mode here. The buds are coming out on the trees. We had a rain at night and there's fog, which means, you know what, there's going to be some heat to the day. We are setting at currently about 56 degrees. So that's a really good start. So I didn't even check the temperature to see where it was going because, you know, it's spring. So, you know what, when it bursts its head, it just does what it does. So I'm calling out the sun today. But before calling out the sun, well, I'm always calling out the sun, not before anything. I was driven to get back in front of the camera just like this again because I've been doing a lot of lives. But you know, Spirit always working with me, always giving me downloads, always telling me what it is that I really should be speaking about. And there were so many things because now that I'm in front of the camera and I don't write things down, I just usually go with what thoughts are impressed upon my mind. But I don't know, I just have great gratitude right now and I see how Spirit is connecting the dots, aligning the people, as well as bringing forth what needs to be talked about. You know, I was able to catch a live last night with 999. His Bill, he has an awesome channel there where he, you know, incorporates art along with the tarot aspect of things, which his shows and his guests, which he had Tarot D on there last night, another person that I follow and have come to respect and have great love for. I have love for the both of them actually because upon entering this arena, two people that reached out to me and embraced me and continue to do so. And so I'm sharing them because you know what, after connecting with them and seeing how they are doing their vibe in terms of raising the vibration on this planet, there was a definite reason why we connected. I love their vibe. Getting back to the point of what, you know, I guess what perhaps maybe inspired today's video was the live that I was participating in last night in terms of being in the audience and being a part of great conversation which exuded all over the place because I don't think it was about one particular thing. It was about various different things, but all of it all came back to some sort of healing and recognizing that we are all in a different place in terms of our belief systems and you know, some of us are in a more progressive state, and I'm going to use that word progressive because you know what, when you know better, you do better. When I say this, I reserve the right to change my mind when new information appears. So I may be steadfast in one arena because you know what, I don't have all the information. So I always try and hold space because it may change. And we are living in a time when the information is rapidly changing because truth is being brought to light. And so, you know what? Something that I would have been appearing concrete on one time, you know, as I said, I reserve the right to change my mind when new information appears. And it's important, very, very important, not to stay in an old thought process that once it's been revealed, don't try to make that thought process work. Don't try to ingrain it into the new part of you that you are trying to develop into being because it will stunt your growth. However, that process will last as long as it needs to because eventually the new information that has been planted inside of you will start to eventually manifest itself, especially when you're surrounded around enlightened beings that are about elevating themselves in terms of their consciousness via information and new information, and yet still holding space for the individual who may not be right there because as we grow, I'm going to emphasize this again, holding space for the people that are around you. And as things break down in the wiring of the information, realize it is happening. Just realize that your role will be either to remove yourself and let the process happen, or help that person go through the breakdown and help them to get to that place of a more higher raised awareness of whatever it is. So there's going to be lots of those going on all over the place and with different things. And as things continue to break down and there's uncertainty, the Spirit is always providing a light of path. You just have to remember and recognize, when Spirit is in the process of tearing something down and also clearing the path for something more aligned with you and where you're really supposed to be and going. So, as I said, there was many things that I did want to talk about in today's video, but, once again, Spirit took over my voice and boom, there you go. I am sharing with you today my coils, natural hair, and my cute little dress I got. I like this dress, folk. Anyways, it's I like summer. I'm like my mom in that way, and when the opportunity comes for me to put on my dress, it goes on. I like to be free, and you're cute, and I think I look cute today. That wouldn't be me if I didn't have my little bit of humor. Anyways, I was thinking about stories and, the lineups that I have planned for this channel and the people that I want to introduce you to. And, I was thinking about a story. Because, it wouldn't be me if I didn't give you a story. And I was thinking about the time when, I was probably, I don't know, maybe about 8 years old. And as I said, we always had hens. My mom would sell them, but we also raised them so that, they provided us with food. Eggs. Well, my mom had received a ticket from my sister who lives in Sudbury, and it was so that she could have a break. Because now I want you to think about it. My mom had been raising children, some from a very, very early age. And at the time of all of this going on, my sister, whom she took with her, would have still been in need of real daily care, Not that we weren't in need of care, but you get my point. Knowing that I come from a family of 13, I had siblings that were at home at the time that my mom left, who were able to kick in and babysit us. Anyways, I'm losing my point because my mom goes away to Montreal, and we're at home, and it's a Saturday afternoon. And my brother had been outside playing and running, and his game was chasing the chickens. He'd watch wrestling, and if he couldn't play that reenactment out on us, the chickens was going to get whatever frustrations he had. So he's chasing these chickens and chasing this one chicken to the point he gave it a heart attack. Tosses the chicken down over what we call Miss Burrows, which is more of a growed up area that, if it goes down there, it's like it goes into the abyss. You don't get to see it. Or that's what he thought anyways. In the meantime, being a kid, we was outside and just saw this whole process go on. But, Mama's away, and if Mama had known that this went on, it wouldn't have been a good thing for my brother. So nonetheless, moving my story forward, we're all at the house, bright sunny day, and it, wasn't bad. Listen, we may have grown up in extreme times, but I'll tell you something. When we were close, we were close. And we knew how to make a good time out of a hard time. Nonetheless, my mom's away, and, I'll tell you, Saturday afternoon, and my two cousins who were older were walking up the road, and they were sisters. And I'll call them by name, Edna and Ethel. Two women that, you know what, they are the aunties and have been the aunties in the neighborhood. Long before I was an auntie, they were auntying and didn't even realize what they were doing. But just automatically, always looking out. And also had that younger edge about them of where, you know what, they weren't too old. They were like your cool auntie. So to make a long story short, our cool aunties drop by. In the meantime, they're there and a knock comes to the door. And it is Family Children's Services. Well, that's what they call them today. We call them the aid. And they were just there to collect. If you wasn't owning up to your responsibility in terms of being able to engage with your children, and there was no support system, they were just monitoring your children. So now that we know what Family and Children's Services is really all about, and the whole child essaying and all that bullshit, and how there's a link correlates. Anyways, if you know, you know with that one. So do not be surprised by what I just said. I've been very wise for a very long time. So you know what? Maybe not in that moment knew what was going down, but in looking back, oh hell yeah. They thought, nice pickings. Going back to my story. So this woman comes to the door, and she had received a complaint that there was children being left at home, you know, and that there was no food and blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm telling you right now, these two women fucking kicked in like, you know what, bam, just like that. I got cold chills running through me, because this is one of those stories in my life of in which, you know what, impacted me in a huge way. I'll never forget Edna stepping up to the plate and taking charge and saying, you know what, alone? These kids ain't alone. We're here. I don't know where you would have ever heard that. And no food. Go to the fridge. Go to the fridge. You're welcome to go to the fridge. Oh, no, ma'am. There's no need for that. You know what? We just have to check up on these things. And I just want the person to know, I know who made the complaint. I know you. I just want you to know I know. And I want you to know this. I never, ever, ever, ever forgot. And at this point, you should be probably receiving some of your karma for that one. Because you know what? You disguised yourself as a friend to my mother. But I got you. So does Spirit. Spirit got you. Spirit got you. Got you. And I know you've been watching me. That's okay. But Spirit got you there too. And by now you know I ain't one to fuck with. I am the one to come and break those motherfucking chains and curses. Ooh, I'm losing myself here for a second. Not me, I'm digressing. I just want you to know I know. Anyways, that day, I'm going to tell you, a horror was avoided. Angels, in the name of two women, Edna and Ethel, appeared and saved us. Because the truth of the matter, if they went and looked in that fridge, there wasn't hardly anything. Hardly anything. Seriously, hardly anything. And in fact, I didn't even know what we was going to eat that night, truth be told. But I'll tell you what we did end up eating. After that woman left, and Edna learned of the dead chicken story, she said, don't worry about it to my brother. Get down there, and she said, get that chicken. He went down, got the chicken. She plucked that chicken. I'm telling you right now, we ate chicken. We had a nice chicken dinner is what we had, because Ethel ended up making bread, and oh my God, you know what, I'm going to tell you something, just a powerful experience. And I want both of those women to know, well, one has passed. Edna is in the spirit realm, and she's serving from there, because I don't believe she's ever stopped serving. And baby, I know you have not stopped serving, and I just need to tell this story, because this one is for you, and you are so appreciated. What I did not realize at the time of all of this happening is that those two women were taken away from their home very early, very, very fucking early in their lives. and raised in the Nova Scotia colored home. So when I tell you that their psyche fucking kicked in that day, they saved a family of what we thought was trauma and all that we fucking came through from a whole other form of trauma. Anyways, my point being is, there's lessons and there's power in our stories. And, I know that every story that I'm telling is resonating with somebody out there. I have been privileged to, share that story with one of the surviving sisters, which is Ethel, who just lives down the road from me. And, who's got a powerful, powerful story of her own. Oh my God, 80 years strong. Does not look 80. Looks fucking, listen, when they say black don't crack, this chick, black don't crack. Now, she's a little too modest. I told her, you know what, show some cleavage, Ethel. I had to. And if Ethel, big eyes would roll up around me. Told me no. We went shopping anyways. That's a whole nother story for another day. But you know what? She was able to get some things and, didn't fight me on everything. So that was a good thing. But no, that was a part of my actually good week too. Because you know what? She had taken me grocery shopping, and we ended up hanging out that day and ended up going for dinner and ended up stopping at the thrift store, and she was able, because I told her, listen, it's summer, it's time to show some thigh, no need to cover it up, the sun wants to see the thigh, and you're 80 and not dead, and I'm 58 and I certainly ain't late, goddess it is, so let the sun shine in. So that was pretty much how our day went. We was just spreading vibration all around the place, having some good laughs, sharing some good stories, and making the day. So here I am sharing it with you in hopes that it will provide a laugh, but shows you how, there is not anything that happens in this life or to you that is not a part of your pieces. And when you put those pieces together of your life that may have felt like they are broken, you're actually putting the pieces back together and seeing a bigger, clearer picture. And that's what this channel is about, because that bigger picture is a huge part of your higher level of your healing. Embrace the journey. Embrace those experiences that have happened in your life that what you deem is those things you don't want to look at, the mother that you may look at this point in horror. As I said, you don't know all of her story. You are just a part of her story. And the sister or the brother, remember, we're all playing roles. And if that treatment was the treatment, even though it may have been ill treatment, was what helped to forge the better part of you, then you'll know that was a part of your reasoning. And that, perhaps that was a part of the contract that was signed before you all came down here. To fix things that were broken inside the family bloodline of which you chose to incarnate in. Anyways, I'm not going to make this a long video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I should start saying that before you go in, because whether or not you're staying to this point of the video or you're watching it at some point, do that. Hit the like button. It helps me. It helps share, and it helps YouTube to see that, these conversations are appreciated. So if you want to help the collective, if you want to do your good deed today, not only hit but like, subscribe, and share it. Share this with someone if you think that they could use an uplifting story of something that could have been horror, but how life had other plans. Because life had other plans that day, I'm able to come to you today without the scarring of having been raised in a home that ended up in the news, and horrific stories from child abuse on many different layers, and layers that we do not even think about. That will be a video all in its own. All in its own. That will be a video. Anyways, I leave you with peace, love, good vibrations as you go making this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Go and do you. Go make yourself pretty today. Go do that extra that you may have not done all week long. Do you. And if you choose not to do that and you've been having to do that all week and you don't want to do it today, do you. Whatever that looks like. However, find yourself in some form of grounding station in the nature outside, connecting with the environment that's around you, repelling what does not, need to be in your energy space. I ain't got no song because I am going to leave with my power, standing in my power, 10 toes down, and knowing I got the power. And so do